YouTube. What's good, chat? You know what I'm saying? We back with another fucking video. And today, as you see by the title, we'll be reacting to some more Lil Durk content. Apparently his trial's going on, so we back to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Get your popcorn, get your snacks, and let's get straight to it.
I don't think the feds are gonna let Mr. Durkio Schmirkio go too easy. We gonna see what's going on. Shout out to Cuff Boys, man, for always giving us these updates on the Lil Durk trial, man. Let's go. He just posted 2 hours ago, too. Let's go.
Have responded in the Lil Durk murder for hire trial. Alright, this trial's supposed to start this month. I'm finally not sick. I thought I was dying for the past 6 days. It's been terrible. This is how many filings there's been over the past 5 days. A lot of it is sealed or useless, not important stuff that we even need to read, but I'm gonna read the important stuff. Let's go. Subscribe. Alright, first thing, defendant Durk Banks notice subjoinder to defendant Wilson and Lindsay's motions in limine. So just his lawyers letting him know that he is also joining his co-defendants' other motions that they filed. And here's what I mean by everything's sealed. So, order granting ex parte application for order sealing documents. For good cause shown, it is hereby ordered that the following documents are under seal. Exhibits 1 through 3, Exhibit 4, government's omnibus opposition to defendant's motion in limine. So a lot of this stuff we can't even see because they're trying to protect witnesses or whatever. At least that's what they say. I mean, Durk did get called the Apple Watch. It's possible he can contact people in the outside world to hurt witnesses. Finally, a big one.
Right, when he got caught with that Apple Watch, that hurt him.
Government's opposition to defendant Banks' motion to exclude government's proposed gang expert. So let's see what the feds say here. Defendant Banks' motion to exclude the government's gang expert makes it clear there's a material disagreement between the parties as to the origin and nature of the co-conspirators' relationship and motives. On one hand, the government will argue that the conduct and motivations of the OTF-related co-conspirators must be explained through their Chicago gang-related connections. On the other, defendant Banks has asserted that there is no logical nexus between the facts in this case and the Chicago-based gangs, their evolution, and the rivalry among them, and that defendant Banks' connection with his fellow members of OTF is solely musical.
What? Stupid. How is your connection solely musical if you was involved with these people before you were making music? What always amazes me about watching these videos is okay, Lil Durk, it's 2026. Lil Durk has been out. I can remember when L's Anthem came out, being from Chicago and thinking Lil Durk was the coolest nigga since sliced bread. When L's Anthem came out, that was 2011. So let's say 15 years. For 15 years, you've been saying you gang this, gang that, OTF, O Block, Lamron, 300. You've been saying all that for 15 years. And then you finally get caught for a murder for hire case. And now you say all the connections with the members is solely musical. Now you ain't a gangbanger. You've been saying you a gangbanger for 15 years and interviews and songs and all that. But now it's just music.
While the murder of SR has been referred to as the LA murder, it is in reality a Chicago gang-style murder that was brought to the streets of Beverly Hills. The government must be able to provide expert testimony that explains the tradecraft and slang of the Chicago gang members and affiliates who conspired to commit the murder. This testimony will help the jury understand why the co-conspirators' first reaction after Bennett's death was not to seek law enforcement assistance. It was to immediately start planning revenge and get back, consistent with the gang code the co-conspirators live by. So this happened in the YSL trial. They brought a gang expert in to explain gang terminology and slang. I just hate these fucking RICO trials and shit. It's all up for interpretation. The YSL trial put a bad taste in my mouth because it was such a shit show. It was 11 months of a complete clown.
That was
this
a shit
is the
show.
Fed, so it's different.
It's the Fed, they ain't playing.
The government expert will help provide critical testimony about Chicago gang structure to help the jury understand why the co-conspirators flew from Chicago with just shirts on their backs to commit the murder.
Damn, that's all they...
Direction.
Damn.
Wait, hold on.
Damn, pack no suitcase?
Is that what they're trying to say? Just the clothes they were wearing? The expert will help the jury understand why a famous rapper would use resources and power to seek revenge for a friend. Relationships between Durk, King Von, PW1, PW2, and co-conspirators 3, 4, and 5 is material to proving who ordered the murder, who committed the charged conduct, and crucially why. So PWs are obviously snitches that are going to testify at trial. At trial, the government will prove...
I don't know why people trying to skate over that in the Lil Durk case. It's been snitches in this case, known snitches for a while. Somebody snitching, somebody telling some gang. Have you ever needed your paycheck to just come a little...
seek revenge, responsible for King Von's death at the direction of Durk. The government must...
Like I said before, I just don't understand, how people think that he's gonna beat 35 witnesses trying to testify against him. Like, bro, that's just crazy work, bro. And like I said in my previous video, like, I am a big Lil Durk fan, but I just don't see this nigga coming on. It's not looking good. And he has the $1 billion lawyer, and it's still not looking good.
Be able to establish the gang-related origin, development, and tradecraft of the conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. Durk was a self-admitted Black Disciples gang member from the Lamron set of the gang. Like defendant Banks, the OTF members who participated in the murder were Chicago gang members or affiliates, primarily Black Disciples, including PW1 and defendant Wilson. Testimony from cooperating witness will establish that the co-conspirators formed their relationship of trust from a young age and through their gang association, including living by their gang code. CPD Detective Kilroy will provide testimony about 1. The meaning of relevant terms and expressions used in text communications, admitted at trial, explaining the rules and code applicable to Chicago gang members, Chicago gang structure and tradecraft, including gang members' use of social media and rap lyrics. Defendant's contention that there is no logical nexus between Kilroy's proposed gang expertise and the alleged facts in this case only highlights the materiality of the expert testimony. Oh, Jesus, look at this. For example, Kilroy will testify that the Chicago gang members must achieve get back by avenging acts of violence against other members or associates of their gang, or they will lose respect and their reputation in the gang community. These Chicago gang members obtain notoriety, money, and fame as rap artists and elevate to leadership roles within their respective gang, using social media and music to taunt, disrespect, and assert their dominance over rivals, especially by disrespecting murdered members of rival gangs. Advertise their membership verbally, musically, and through gang signs and symbols, using stolen vehicles to commit violent acts, multiple vehicles to ambush gang rival targets, using modified machine guns or switches. Banks also makes much of the location of the murder. LA. What does that mean? Also makes much of the location of the murder.
Yeah, I don't know what that
Is
means.
my sick brain not comprehending what that means?
I don't know what that
Kilroy's
means.
expertise relates to Chicago street gang. Banks and almost all of his co-conspirators and criminal associates in this case have ties to Chicago street gangs. Kilroy has investigated Durk in the past, apparently, and other OTF affiliates. That expertise will help the jury understand the gang-related methods. Absent Detective Kilroy's testimony, the jury will understand the
I think it's a thing called. I don't think. There's a thing called guilty by association, right? And that just is what it is, bro. When you surround yourself around, even if you could be the most perfectest, that's not even a word, but you could I said perfect. You could be the most perfect law-abiding citizen in the world. If you hang around nothing but killers, gangbangers, robbers, drug dealers, shooters, and they lock them all up, they gonna lock you up too, bro. See, the thing with court is nobody is God. We don't really know what happened. All we can do is look at the facts and make a guesstimate about what happened. The problem is, though, when you rap about gangsters, you rap about shooters, you rap about murders, you diss people dead homies, you throw up gang signs, it's a bunch of homies, it's the image that goes into it, gang. You could be innocent as hell, but if you got an image of a gangster, it's going to be believable to that jury that you did whatever they saying you did, and you're going to get locked up for it, bro. Even if you didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas be locking themselves up for real, even if before they commit a crime. Because it's jury, bro. Again, we don't really know what happened. Nobody was there. Only people that know what happened is the motherfuckers who did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but what is the prosecutor gonna say? But the prosecutor's gonna look at this and be like, this is a very believable story for us based off the facts, the evidence we got, the witnesses, the snitches, this, that, the third. This is a very believable story that we can present to a judge and a jury to make it extremely believable. To the point where they won't, even if they think, I really, deep down inside, I don't think Durk did it, but it looked bad, 20 years. So it's just, you gotta look at stuff like this. Don't just look at it. I know a lot of y'all be entertained. Y'all wanna know it's Lil Durk, it's a story, I get it. But just try to learn from the shit as much as you can, bro. And understand, this is a way that you don't move. There is a life where you can make music, you can do a lot of stuff and have no involvement in the streets. It's a life where you can do that. It's possible. Rich people ain't gangbanging. Rich people, billionaires ain't on the block. You know what I'm saying? Billionaires are not, and even if they are doing something illegal, like billionaires do I put it past a billionaire to get somebody killed for whatever reason, business-wise? No, I don't. But I know his image is gonna save him. the fact that he wears suits, the fact that he don't associate himself with killers and robbers and, you know what I'm saying, drug dealers, that's gonna help his case. It's gonna make it less believable that he would do something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Why a successful musician would seek revenge through murder. The following answer is simple. Despite being a successful musician, Defendant Banks was and is a black disciple who assembled a gang of gangs, which he financially supported and eventually deployed to avenge a fallen gang member's death. Banks, associated with other defendants and co-conspirators and cooperating witnesses, was born out of a criminal street gang relationship, as was his response to King Von's death. Banks cannot at once argue that OTF was a legitimate music collective and seek to exclude relevant evidence from the jury that undermines his claim. Such a ruling would not only unfairly prejudice the government, but would also undermine the core truth-finding function of a criminal jury trial. Obviously, the government's fighting for an expert witness to come in and explain to the jury gang shit. The defense is going to be like, fuck no, we don't want you to explain gang terms to our jury. Up to the judge if they're allowed it or not. Alright, so thank God Durk All Day had this file on Twitter. So shout out Durk All Day on Twitter. Alright, fellas, let's be honest. Buying.
Because I have a copy here, but these two.
They don't have this on the Pacer website anymore. For time, appreciate you boys. Back to the video. They don't have this on the Pacer website anymore for me to see. So something must be in this file we're not supposed to see. Government's opposition to Defendant Banks. Oh, I can't highlight anything in this. Defendant Banks motion to suppress fruits of unlawfully seized and searched telephones. So this is a big one. Remember, pretty much in my opinion, illegally searched Durk's phone from that home invasion he was a victim of. The Atlanta police took Durk's phone during a home invasion that he was a victim of at his own house. Durk's lawyers said they were supposed to give it back and not go through it at all because he's a victim. They have no reason to look through his phone. Well, they looked through it. They got a search warrant and they handed it over to the FBI at some point too. I think
they do have a reason because he wasn't supposed to have a gun. The same way All-Star JR, they had a reason to if they want to look through his phone, they can look through his phone because he wasn't supposed to have a gun. So if they want to find out where you got this gun from, how did you obtain this gun? Because they remember they searched his house and they found guns and ammunition. If you are, this is what happens when you put yourself in a box of a felon, bro. This is what happens when you live in the streets your whole life. You can't live in your streets your whole life, get locked up, go to prison, do this, do that, get found guilty for felonies. That says the law says that felons cannot possess firearms at all. It ain't supposed to be in your hand. It ain't supposed to be in your house. It ain't supposed to be in your car. It ain't supposed to be on your waist. It ain't supposed to be nowhere around you, bro. So the fact that, yeah, he was a victim for sure, and he did what he had to do. But now you gotta face the consequences, the legal consequences of the fact that he wasn't even supposed to have his gun in the first place.
Nigga,
you, as rich as you is, knowing that you a felon, knowing that you don't have guns at your house, you were supposed to have 24 hours, 24/7 security outside your house.
And I'm gonna call you, and then I'm gonna call you and get on the game.
If somebody came and tried to break in, you feel me? Which they probably wouldn't have tried to break in if they see an armed security guard standing outside your house with a bulletproof truck and an assault rifle. So that's why they can use whatever they want to do, bro. Just like if they pull you over and they smell weed, they can search your whole car. If you got a damn bazooka or a bomb in your car, they can lock you up for it. You can't turn around and say, well, it's okay for me to smoke weed. Just y'all ain't supposed to search my car. You can't do that. But that's not what the law says.
What are we talking about?
So it wasn't unlawful search.
You heard
he broke a law. So that gives them probable cause to search his phone, search his house, search whatever they want to search, bro.
It's all legal in my opinion, but this is the government's response to that. Following a shootout at Defendant Banks' home in July 2021, where law enforcement seized multiple guns and 11 cartridge casings, 6 of which were found near a balcony where the defendant admitted to firing his gun into the air. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, searched the defendant's residence pursuant to a search warrant. During the search, investigators seized multiple guns and boxes of ammunition, spent shell casings, and defendant's cell phone to aid their investigation into the gunfight, among other items. While the defendant's phone was seized pursuant to the initial warrant, GBI did not search the phone until it obtained a subsequent warrant that authorized the seizure of data related
to how is it illegal? How is it an opinion that it's illegal to you if they got a warrant to search his... That means a judge signed off on a warrant to search his phone. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's illegal.
See, no.
When you on probation, they can pull you over and search your car. You don't need any probable cause. You don't have to like it, but that doesn't mean that their search is illegal, bro.
Including felon possession of firearms.
Exactly.
Phone warrant, quote unquote. Based on the search warrant, the GBI created the forensic extraction of the device, which they maintained in their possession pursuant to the express terms of the Georgia phone warrant. After injury, returned the additional charges against the defendant in this case, including violent crimes aimed at racketeering murder. The government obtained a copy of the forensic extraction from the GBI on July 6, 2026. 2006.
Damn.
So this home invasion occurred approximately 2 months after co-conspirators first attempted to ambush and kill Quando Rondo and Blackshear. Okay, so what they're hinting at there is that this happened to Durk in his house because 2 months before, Durk and them tried to kill Quando Rondo in Blackshear, Georgia.
That could be the reason.
Or near the Shell gas station and got shot up on murder. Within days, a federal judge in LA authorized a warrant to search the forensic extraction for the evidence related to this case. Material evidence was found on the device, including texts about locating Quando Rondo and Quando Rondo's associates Lil Tim. DL is Lil Tim. Lil Tim is who killed King Von in Atlanta. I'm sure a lot of you know this, but I'm just clarifying for people that don't. I think it was one of the first mentions of Lil Tim, to be honest. The individual who shot King Von on November 6, 2020. He's free, by the way. He's not. The charge against him got dropped, or I don't even know if he ever got charged with murder. I think
he got charged.
He be on that team. Right?
Yeah. I don't know what happened, dude.
I think he got charged, but I don't think it went to like trial or nothing like that. I think he got charged initially, and then they do like the arraignment and all that shit, and then they dropped him.
Durk moves to suppress the evidence, raising numerous legal issues in an attempt to justify suppressing the incriminating evidence found in the device. However, the motion boils down to 3 narrow issues: whether the state investigators lawfully seized the defense phone pursuant to the Georgia House warrant on July 11th, whether the temporary detention of the defense phone from July 11th until state investigators obtained a warrant to search the phone was independently permissible under the Fourth Amendment, whether on these facts Georgia investigators' good faith conduct seizing the phone while investigating a shootout and then obtaining a search warrant to search the phone, coupled with the attenuation between a wholly separate federal investigation and years later, the drastic remedy of exclusion of the highly relevant evidence is warranted. While all 3 issues should be resolved in the government's favor, the court can deny the motion based on any of the below. First, the Georgia home warrant authorized the seizure of defendant Banks' phone.
Exactly.
I can't highlight it, I keep forgetting. All parties agree that the Georgia House warrant authorized state law enforcement to lawfully enter and search the bank's residence. Based on the plain language of the warrant, it authorized the seizure of defendant Banks' phone because the affidavit established the probable cause that defendant Banks, who claimed he fired a gun multiple times into the air, and a resident.
So you basically snitched on yourself.
So when he's talking about, like, nigga, we get.
You said you shot your gun in the air. That was a snitch on yourself, bro. You told on yourself in that moment. So now, if somebody pulls you over and you say, "Yeah, I got drugs in the trunk," okay, get out of the car. We're gonna search the car now. And if we find something, we're gonna seize it. If we want to seize your phone to figure out where you got these drugs from, they can do that, bro.
Don't let that bag.
So it's not really. I get some of y'all be Durk fans, and I'm a Durk fan. I love his music, but we gotta be realistic here, bro. We don't just because you don't like the law, or just because
you see my
you ignorant of the law, doesn't mean it's an excuse, and doesn't mean that it can be in your opinion that it was unlawfully searched. Your opinion don't really matter, bro. It's black and white. It's what the law says.
I'm at the office right now.
You see what I'm doing? Like,
I wish it was legal.
They would give a fuck
For you to walk down the street and smoke, but it's not. It's not, bro. It's not even legal. It's trespassing, jaywalking. All these things are written in black and white. The people who are prosecuting Lil Durk are the same people who made the damn law. So you just gotta respect the law and abide by it, or this is gonna happen, bro. I didn't make the rules, but damn, y'all, what the fuck?
I would tap that
neighborhood was suspected perpetrator of at least reckless conduct in violation of the code, blah, blah, blah. Wait, so just because he fired it in the air, they were trying to charge him with that? He probably would have been better off saying he shot that. Because in Georgia, you can, if someone breaks your house, you can fucking blow them to smithereens, right?
Not if you're not supposed to have a gun, bro. You can do that if you are not a felon. If you have a legal firearm in your home. If you fucking, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. Soulja Boy got off with the. I don't know if Soulja Boy caught a body. I know he shot somebody or something like that, but he was involved.
Like when you would.
Soulja Boy's famous story: somebody breaking in Soulja Boy house and they end up getting shot. Somebody end up dying, and nothing happened to Soulja Boy. Same thing with the baby. Somebody broke into the baby house, so they was on his estate, on his property, and he shot the shit out of him and called the police. Said, "Come get him." He didn't go to jail for it. The baby killed somebody in Walmart. He didn't go to jail for that. Why? Because he wasn't a felon. The gun on him was legal. It was okay for him to have it, bro. So yeah, you could do that. Perfect example, All-Star JR again. If All-Star JR wasn't a felon and he had a gun on him that was a legal gun and he shot him, he wouldn't be in jail right now. It sucks. I don't think it's fair, but that's the law.
Am I wrong here? I'm pretty sure Georgia does not have duty to retrieve, right? All right, second, Georgia investigators learned additional information before the seizure of Finn's phone.
Really, no state in the South really does.
Temporary detention of the phone
Like
to preserve evidence while investigators sought and obtained a warrant to search the phone. So they didn't actually take this phone, bro. They took that shit on purpose. They got info before that they were like, yo, there's something on his phone we need to see, so we're taking it. His lawyers made it sound like they took the phone on accident and realized after. No, they did that shit on purpose. In my opinion, that's what it seems like. Indeed, before investigators seized the phone on July 11, 2021, they learned that the defendant was a twice convicted felon when he possessed and fired his weapon, and that the defendant was a suspected member of Black Disciples gang. Given this fact and the defendant's conduct set forth in the affidavit, investigators had a good faith basis to seize the phone to investigate the gunfight, including determining the identity of the shooters and the motive. Investigators subsequently obtained a warrant to search the phone, which is based on ample probable cause. Okay. Finally, the facts before the court simply do not warrant the drastic and extreme remedy of suppression. Georgia investigators acting in good faith obtained multiple warrants to seize and search the defendant's phone to investigate a shootout that occurred in a residential neighborhood. Likewise, the federal prosecution team diligently obtained a federal search warrant days after receiving the digital extract of the defendant's phone from the GBI. Because the FBI was not involved in the seizure of the phone from the defendant bank's residence, nor did it possess the extraction or the physical phone at any point prior to July 2026, suppression exclusion is not justified here. The court should deny the motion in full. So the shootout that happened July 11th, when officers arrived, defendant was not at the residence. Officers conducted a protective sweep where they found evidence that multiple fires had been used and they amounted to a shootout at the home. Also found spent shell casings in around the house and suspected narcotics near a large bag of money on the bed. As set forth below, law enforcement did not believe the defendant was being forthcoming during the investigation, including the defendant's claim that he merely shot his firearm in the air. As his motivation and suspects fled. As they ran away. So look, that changes things. You can't shoot someone fleeing. That's how you get your ass charged with murder. Or something. If you shoot and kill someone that's fleeing from your house, I'm pretty sure you can't do that. I don't remember what case it was, but a few years ago I saw like some old dude like chased down a pregnant girl who was robbing his house with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend dipped on her. Old dude chased down a pregnant girl and killed her as she was trying to flee, begging for her life.
And they downed me. They jumped on me in the hallway. The lady didn't run fast as a man, so I shot her in the back twice. She's dead, and they told her off, but he got away. She says, "Don't shoot me, I'm pregnant, I'm with a baby." And I shot her anyway. She was dead. Well, I shot her twice, she best be dead. I shot her, so that's going to leave a message on his mind. When the time comes to defend yourself, you best do something.
Okay, so apparently that old dude was not charged with murder.
Yeah,
and she was not actually.
Jay got a cart right.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. All right, let's go back. The warrant authorizes the seizure of electronic devices and any of the.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works though. If somebody breaks in your house, I think that's stupid. I know some states that's how it works. I think that's stupid. If somebody breaks in your house, if they running away, how do I know they're not running away to go get another gun? How do I know they're not running away and they gonna shoot like this while they run? That's possible. I'm not taking no chances. Somebody breaking your crib, bro, blow their ass back, nigga, until you run out of bullets and then reload. Like, dead serious. Y'all tripping.
The perpetrators may have left behind that would aid in the identification of the perpetrators. So Durks lawyers pointed that out in their motion too, saying it said only of the perpetrators, not of Durks' phone. So you should not have took Durks' phone, pretty much. So they left the scene after the shooting. Durk did.
All right.
At least an hour until 11 at least.
Relevant here, the warrant authorized the seizure of electronic devices and any other personal belongings the perpetrators may have left behind that would aid in the identification of the perpetrators.
Yeah.
For the following subject offense, yeah, but he broke the law, bro. That's what y'all understand. So if the police want to take his phone after he broke the law, that's the proper call, bro. I'm sorry that that's the case, but that's what he did.
They're committed and obliged to make their own reluctant to allow investigators to search the home and their car for evidence. The following facts that clearly establish probable cause to search his phone. Here we go. Defendant Banks and defendant number 1 told investors they both fired their weapons. Defendant Banks had previously convicted of at least 2 felonies. They obtained information that he was a member of the William Ross said Black Disciples gang in Chicago. Defendant Banks had a monetary bounty to reward the killers of his brother. S.A. Bynum concluded that based on defendant Banks' gang membership associated with the factions of the Black Disciples, it is feasible that there are a lot of subjects that may want to harm him or steal from him. He determined that evidence on that seized device could assist with identifying the outstanding suspects in the gunfight, including text messages, photographs, and social media messages. This feels just so shady. Like, he's the victim of a home invasion, and his phone gets taken and used against him in a federal case 5 years later.
Yeah, he got 10
minutes. It just feels so shady.
He's not back in
and the FBI gets all this.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. It don't feel shady to me. He's a known gangbanger who's a known felon who admitted to having a gun that he's not supposed to have. He admitted to shooting a gun that he ain't supposed to have.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gotta be the ugliest nigga I know, though, bro.
So we took his
You
phone,
gotta be the
we
first
extracted
nigga
it,
in history I've ever
and
seen.
I think they gave it back.
Getting 10K.
I mean, that's not shady for real. I mean, that's just the police doing their job, bro. Like, you can't be mad at the police for doing their job. Even if you're in the streets, your job is to not get caught. Their job is to get as much information as possible so that they can catch your ass no matter what. So,
Nigga,
I don't know why. What y'all expect to
I'm
happen,
not gonna
bro?
lie.
GBI shipped via mail a hard
I
drive
can't even
containing
tell
two
you how
extractions, which the
fucked
FBI
up
received
my
on July
God
6.
night.
The FBI obtained a federal search warrant to
Then
seize
the
evidence
night
from the digital
after
extractions
that,
related to the August
I don't know
19,
if you saw the
2022
story. I was
murder
on
and suspected racketeering
Food
activities
at
between
my
events
manager's
as alleged
house.
enterprise
We was all over
Confederates. Law enforcement identified and seized multiple images related to the seeking revenge against
over there,
TV,
niggas.
Quando, and Lil
10K.
Tim.
And I
Those
wasn't
images include screenshots of messages including Lil Tim's release from state custody on bond and getting the address where he will be on house arrest with metadata showing that screenshot was taken around the time of Lil Tim's release from state custody.
Nigga, let me tell you something right now.
I can't even imagine you
Yeah.
Why did Durk have that screenshot on his phone? The government is saying here that Durk was looking to get revenge on Lil Tim and had screenshots on his phone trying to find
Me and
his
Jay already got
house
account
where he's
now.
living.
I really don't know how y'all think he's gonna. I remember when somebody posted some shit like on one of the blog pages or something. A lot of niggas was tagging me like, "Oh, you such a hater. You was wrong. He gonna get free."
I know
really don't
you was
know
on
what
the
y'all.
floor.
I don't know what y'all think is happening right now.
Right now,
Or like I don't know what y'all. I don't know what y'all.
Right now,
looking
we're
at,
in
bro.
Miami right now.
I think he's cooked.
where am I?
That's a terrible look. Who knows if it was Durk messaging people or not, but their screenshots were on his phone. Screenshots of a poster advertising Quando's concert, the concert after which multiple posters are alleged to have ambushed Quando.
I'm about to get probably a good 20K.
Yeah, it's getting worse, ain't it?
That's not good either, boys. No wonder the government wants this in there. Screenshot of social media post from May 3rd, 2023, documenting that Quando was shot at in Black Street, Georgia. The information misleading states that the government believes it produced a forensic extraction of film July 15th. What defense motion omits
Like on the
indications in which
puffer?
the government identified for defense counsel the path to download and view the data, and the government's invitation to assist counsel via video conference and viewing the data, an in-person inspection whenever it was convenient for the defense counsel. Defense counsel, however, did not respond to the government's message, which transparency the government has attached this communication exhibit under seal. So they're saying the defense lawyers are idiots and they don't know how to look at the data, apparently. Investigators determined that the phone was in before first unlocked state at the
I'm
time
out there
it was
posing
extracted,
like this.
which may result in extraction that contains limited data for review, including partial multimedia and system metadata. Indeed, the extraction of the cell phone did not appear to contain text messages between the user of the phone and others, but did contain numerous images. Okay, so this wasn't. So they only had screenshots. They didn't have actual text message data from his phone. Is what it sounds like. But it's still a bad luck that he had screenshots of people trying to find Lil Tim's address and the concert that ends up getting shot up. Quando Runner's concert. Given the affidavit's demonstration, the defendant was hesitant and less than forthcoming regarding the shootout. The warrant authorized the seizure of the cell phone to search for the evidence that could identify the shooters and their motive with whom the defendant makes engaged in a gunfight. I don't understand that. Why would there be evidence on his phone about who the shooters are and home invasion? Like what? Why would? How would Durk know who the people are that came in his house unless they didn't have masks on or some shit? Under the plain view doctrine, a search warrant is not required for seizure if three requirements are met. The officer must be lawfully in the place where the seized item was in plain view.
I will take whatever block I
was
got,
immediately
nigga, and
apparent,
put
and the officer had a lawful right of access to the object itself.
It's the only three things that gotta happen, bro.
Lawfully present on the home. Investigators believe seizure of the home is necessary to preserve
All you
relevant
can see is my
evidence.
legs look like this sideways from my block out of the
video on it. Jury selection for this trial starts in like a week, I think, or something.
Oh, for real?
It's happening very soon. I would imagine all
I
of
will
September.
fuck they ass up, nigga, if you ever catch me in some snow, nigga. I might just put the beam where the pin tried. Nigga,
Just guys, peace out.
When is the trial supposed to start?
Yes. And you gotta get a cabin.
August 20th. Oh, okay, so in a week it's supposed to start.
Bro, let me tell you something.
So, how's jury selection on in a week if they say it's supposed to start
Let me
already?
tell you something. I'm snowmobiling, I'm skiing, I'm doing a little snow tubing, all that shit.
We're gonna see them.